I inherited 100,000 acres of land, and guess what sits right on top of it? An entire luxury HOA. They've been paying pennies for decades. Not anymore. 6 months ago, I got a letter from a law firm that changed everything. My grandmother had passed away, and I thought she left nothing behind. She lived simply, worked her whole life, and died in a small assisted living room that I helped pay for. But that letter, it told a completely different story. My grandmother owned 100,000 acres of prime land, and sitting right on top of it was the Willow Creek HOA. 78 massive homes, a clubhouse, tennis courts, and a community pool, all on her land for 40 years. She'd been leasing it to them for just $2,000 a month. $2,000 for 130 acres in today's market? That's insane. The HOA president, Richard, called me immediately. "We expect you'll honor the lease rate," he said, like I had no choice. His voice was dripping with entitlement. But when I reviewed the contract with my lawyer, I found something beautiful. A clause that allowed rent adjustment when property changed hands through inheritance. I could change the rent immediately. I thought about my grandmother, working 2 jobs her entire life. I thought about how I'd worked since I was 15, eating ramen to avoid debt. And I thought about Richard's arrogance. So I sent the notice. Rent would triple to $6,000 per month. My phone exploded. Richard called me every name imaginable. HOA members flooded my email, calling me greedy and heartless. They held an emergency meeting and invited me. I walked into that clubhouse in my work clothes. 70 angry faces stared at me. Richard stood up. "Your grandmother understood community. You're destroying that for profit." I stood up calmly. "My grandmother cleaned houses for 20 years. She died in a shared room. Not one of you visited her. Not one card when she got sick. She gave you 40 years of cheap rent. What did you give her? Nothing." The room went silent. Fair market rent is actually $18,000 a month. I'm only asking for a third of that. 3 families moved out. The rest paid. I used the money to pay off my student loans and started a scholarship fund in my grandmother's name. Some people think I'm the villain, but every time I sign a scholarship check, I think of my grandmother's tired hands.